Jobina, we are talking about the show The Virgins today, and I'm going to start out with a question for you.
Oh, okay.
Are you a virgin?
No, I'm not. As a mother of 3 children,
Well,
I am, and a wife, I am not a virgin.
I asked that because there's a woman on this show who has been married
Right?
and
Assumptions
is a
cannot be
virgin. So
made.
I didn't want to make any assumptions.
Yeah, well then, let's set the record straight. Now, I'm not. Are you?
I would like to keep that part of my life personal at this time. Let's start the show. Hey everyone, I am Luther Palmer, and this is One Episode Stand, the podcast where we have fun helping you figure out what to watch and what to ghost.
And I'm Jobina Scott. Each episode, we watch and discuss the premiere of a new show, and then we move on to the next. It's like a one-night stand, but for TV. Here for a good time, but not for a long time.
We also dig into some of the bigger questions these shows raise when you're not just watching, but actually paying attention. Jobina, we're going to get into, is it just called Virgins? The Virgins? Virgins?
It's not called The Virgins. I got it mixed up too. Just Virgins.
We're going to get into Well, that sounds weird to say we're going to get into virgins, right?
We're not. That is not what we're doing.
But tell the people what else you're watching.
Okay, I am watching this show called Pernille.
Oh.
It is in its 5th season on Netflix. And I randomly saw this when I was looking for shows to watch. It was suggested to me because I watched both of those really good Ricky Gervais shows, Derek and the other one, Afterlife or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was suggested to me because I watched that. It is not like it, but it's interesting. So it's a Norwegian dramedy, and it's about this single mother she's just dealing with every problem you can think of. Her sister has died in a tragic car accident. Like the opening scene is of her. She's leaving a voicemail for her sister, and you don't realize that the sister is dead until later. She's leaving a voicemail saying, "You should really be here because dad is really sick." So she's dealing with the death of her sister, what she believes to be like a terminal illness for her dad, but then they discovered they got the wrong medical records. Like she has adopted, it's a mess. She's adopted her sister's son. Her daughters are awful. Her dad discovers he's not terminally ill, but then tells her he's gay. Like it's just, there's so much going on in this woman's life.
Have you watched all 5 seasons?
No. I'm on season 1, like episode 2 or 3. I was going to say,
how is this possible? We talk about TV all the time, and you're going to be on season 5.
You're like, how did you miss this? No,
Right.
This came out in 2021. I just started watching it. I really like it. Now, here's the challenge. I was on a flight, and I'm watching it. I'm getting into it. I kind of like the show. So it's called Pernille, but because it is Norwegian and it's English dubs, the title of Pernille in Norwegian is porny.
Did you say porny?
P-O-R-N-I. Yes, it's P-O-R-N-I. And it's like giant block letters across my screen. And I'm like, that is not what I'm doing on this flight, friends.
Jobina, do not be ashamed of your lifestyle, Jobina.
No, I'm watching a regular Netflix show. I'm like, come on, it's Pernille in English. So it's
But what does that
really
even
good.
mean? What does that mean?
It's her name. Her name is Pernille.
Oh.
Yeah, her name is Pernille, but written in Norwegian, it's porny.
It's porny. That is unfortunate. Okay, let's get to the virgins. Again, another unfortunate double entendre.
Okay.
Let's get to the
them.
virgins, yo. Yo, that religion, what's that? What is it? Is it Islam? Is it all of Islam, or is it only certain sects, S-E-C-T-S, of Islam, where you're like promised virgins in heaven? Is that all of Islam?
I wish I knew. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I knew.
Someone of the Islamic faith, please write into us and tell us what you're promised in heaven in regard to virgins. Okay, what did you know about this show before we picked it?
So I saw it advertising, and I knew we had to. So I was like, this is Luther. It's coming out. This is made for One Episode Stand. We have to do it.
Oh, my goodness. What would the opposite? Like, if I'm thinking, if they wanted to go to the opposite end of the spectrum of virgin, I guess it would be like sex workers? Would that be the opposite of a show about virgins? Because I'm wondering what took them so long. What took them so long to come up with this idea? Because the idea is perfect.
It's brilliant. I mean, I don't think sex workers is the opposite of this show. Maybe sex addicts.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you followed a group of sex addicts as a reality TV show, that would be the antithesis of this.
Although I've heard so much. Show. So I've heard of that we mischaracterize sex addicts all the time. Like,
okay.
Like if a person cheats on their spouse, it's like, oh, you're a sex addict.
We're like, oh, he's a no.
Like
no.
I had a friend whose partner, I won't reveal any gender of any person, whose partner required them to go to sex addict therapy after they were caught sending messages to someone.
No.
Yeah.
And the therapist was like, what are you doing here?
Right.
doing
but,
here?
The therapist was like, I'll take the money. Sure. Like, let's talk about,
let's work on your problem. It's severe.
Right. Okay. Where is this show found? Like, give us the stats on the virgins.
Well, initially it was hard to find because it's on TLC. So it's like, well, where do I watch this? I think I watched the first episode on YouTube, but then I found it on Prime.
Okay. And I watched it on YouTube. Right. So you're saying you watched the rest of it on Prime.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, now I'm confessing that I watched the rest of it.
It always comes out. It always comes out.
It always comes out.
So in terms of look, sound, and feel, I mean, this is a TLC classic, right? They have a cadence. They have a rhythm. You can watch it and without knowing what the origin is, know this is TLC.
It's TLC, 100%.
And what they've done is they've picked 4 virgins who are all virgins for different reasons and have different lifestyles. And we're basically, they don't ever meet each other, but they sort of take us through the life of each of these people, right?
Yeah. And the thing that's significant about them, it's not like they're virgins and they're 25. They're virgins and they're in their mid to late 30s and early 40s.
Yeah. That's... I mean, okay, so let's go through. So as I watch the show, I would categorize 2 of them do not want to be virgins.
Right there, in active pursuit of losing.
Right, and this term incel comes up, right? This involuntary celibate, and I know these people are not part of the incel community, but they are certainly celibate of an involuntary nature.
Circumstantially, yeah, they're not trying to be celibate.
And then there's 2 who are really putting off sex for a number of reasons. Right? Okay, so let's go to them. So let's start with the Black woman who is married, who has been married. That blew my mind. She's like, now let me tell you, I am divorced and a virgin. I was like, wait, what? How do they pick these people? I mean, I guess they have a call like, hey, any virgins in their 30s? I'm sure. And then she was
and
like,
when she said, and I've been married, they were like, get her to the front of the line.
Right. But it's an unfortunate story because she was married to someone who used her to get a green card. And then, but she actually thought, oh no, like we're actually building a relationship.
Go somewhere, yes.
And that person just he
flat out rejected her.
Slept on the couch.
Yeah.
Like, do not touch me. And a part of her story, like again, she's one of these involuntary virgins, is that she doesn't feel desirable as a Black woman. Yes. And this is the story of America and Blackness and womanhood. Is that
she also didn't fit the stereotypical norm or the profile of desirability in a number of ways because she was overweight. She had done a lot of work to lose weight, but she just felt like in many ways she was undesirable.
Right. But here's the thing. I know several men who like big women, right?
I mean, I'm sure there are specific dating apps for that, cautious to do.
But just generally, like normal guys, not weird dudes, just normal guys. In fact, I heard on social media I've heard a couple posts where really strong men prefer big women. And they always say, why do you think we're working out so hard? So we can lift you in the bedroom.
Okay. They're like, bring it on, girl. I have plenty of strength.
But you're right. She is not in the norms. And Jobina, I think there's a certain point where once you're a virgin past a certain age, now it becomes a thing.
It's a thing. Yes.
It becomes weird. And
like, you got to explain it at some point. People are going to wonder why.
Yeah, you almost
add to that, she says, I'm married and I'm a virgin. Like, that is.
Yeah, you almost have to come out as a virgin. Like on the dates you go, because we talked about this with, what was the show? And Just Like That. Right. And you said, if you're a virgin, you need to be coming forward with information. I don't know. Maybe I would, just because I would be worried about my performance. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I would say that I have literally no experience. Like, the person has to know going into it. This person has no experience.
Right. Okay. The next person, let's stick with the other person who also does not want to be a virgin, which is the guy. And I don't remember anyone's name, but he was a guy. He was kind of a big...
He's a little bit of a pudgy guy.
Yeah,
he's losing his hair.
Right. Lives at home.
Yeah, he lives with his parents. Drives a minivan. When I saw that van, I was like, sir, I mean, you are not doing yourself any favors. Get out of that van.
So that seemed to be something that was in his control, right? Like, you can't control. I mean, you can control your look to an extent. But he's not going to go get a makeover and have blonde tips and all that, right? He looks how he looks. He's
not going to look dramatically different, but he could look cleaned up.
You can work out, but that's a lifestyle change. Like, literally, you can sell the minivan
immediately.
Tomorrow.
Right. You can improve your odds significantly in one day.
But what if he likes it? You know, it got me to thinking, Jobina, like, what is the minivan in your life, like when it came to dating and finding people? Like, what's the thing that because he knows, right? He didn't seem like an ignorant person. He knows the look of the minivan is bad, but he wanted it. He liked it for some reason. They didn't really explain why he liked it, but I feel like there's things in all of our lives that we might know this is crippling me in some way,
but I
like it. So I'm like, what is the minivan? Like, what was the minivan when you were dating?
Well, I don't even know if I would, I don't know if I can call one when I was dating, but I will say for myself right now, I worked really hard to lose a significant amount of weight, and I am thin. And I think my husband would prefer me with a few extra pounds, but I feel good. I feel healthy. But I'm thin. Like, I do not have a ton of curves, but it's my minivan, and I'm riding in it. Your minivan is thinness. And your minivan, sir?
I think my minivan is my sarcasm. I am so sarcastic, and I know, like, I will hear myself, my inner monologue say, this may not go over well, and I will still say it.
You just do it anyway.
And it does not go over well sometimes.
It does.
It goes over as well as a minivan would go over. God. But it's me. Like, I like to laugh.
At people.
But I mean, it's not always I mean, I don't know. It also becomes, so here's the other thing about the minivan. The minivan could also be a litmus test for people. Are you judging me by the car I'm driving? Like, I'm going to make sure that you're not surfacey, right? I'm going to make sure that you're not judgmental by driving a minivan. And for me, I always thought, I'm going to make sure you don't take yourself too seriously by being sarcastic.
Okay.
Because a person who takes themselves too seriously, we're not going to work. Like, we're just not going to work. And I guess he's saying, if you're into the looks of the car, we're just not going to work for other reasons.
Not going to work. Do you really think that's why he's driving the minivan? I highly doubt that.
But it's a part of it.
Not
but
like
it becomes part of it, though.
Yeah, I mean, except he is not like pushing away throngs of women and throwing them off his minivan. I think he finds himself in an unfortunate set of circumstances where he is living at home. He's probably driving one of his parents' old minivan.
Right.
And it just kind of works for right now.
Right. Okay. Then there was the woman who her friends were trying to hook her up with these guys.
Yeah.
And she just did not like any of them. She was not interested in anything they had to say.
And she would go on dates with guys who I thought were attractive. They were fine. And she would immediately just be turned off. Like, no, he's not my type. No, he's not attractive.
At one point, Jobina, I started to think that maybe she might, what do they call it, play for the other team.
You thought maybe she doesn't like men at all.
I think maybe she doesn't like men. Now it doesn't mean that she's gay. Maybe she doesn't like anyone. Like maybe intimacy, because asexual is a thing.
Asexuality is a real thing.
I had never heard of this term until like 10 years ago.
Yes, it's a real thing.
People can be asexual. So I think there's something else going on there because of the quickness with which she would dismiss these guys who were nice guys. They were attractive.
Nice guys, good-looking guys. Yeah. I think, though, that she has created in her mind a vision of perfection. And if it's not that thing, if it's not this perfect guy who looks exactly this way, who meets this exact profile, she's not going to budge. Like, she just has this vision in her head of the perfect guy, and she can't let it go.
Have you seen these videos on social media of, like, they'll be interviewing a single woman and they'll say, what's the height that you want? She'll say over 6 feet tall. How much do you have to make? She'll say, 6 figures. And then, like, what race, or no kids, or no married. And they'll say, okay, the percentage of men that meet your criteria are like 0.01% of men in the country. And the women are always like, well, although this is interesting, it's really meant to highlight or maybe even exaggerate that women have an irrational sense of what their partner should be and have. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like women want too much, like generally?
No. I think part of what I see in social media is also like sending women the message that you want too much, like your standards are too high, like you need to learn how to compromise. And I think you can compromise on some things, but people also have to know I think she's okay with being alone if she cannot meet her impossible standard. And she is like, this is what I want. Right. And if the alternative is that I don't have someone and I'm a 37, whatever she is, year old virgin, I'm willing to accept that in exchange for the thing that I want. And I think, if you have a standard and you're willing to accept the consequence of sticking to it, stick to it.
Yeah. Jobina, what do you think your husband had to compromise on with you? Like when he was like, well,
nothing. He got everything he wanted and more. Let me tell you right now. He was like, wait, I need to expand my list here because I have other things. Other things I can check off. Oh, dear Lord.
I'm going to tell you this. My wife visited me and I tried to clean up. But I'm just a messy guy. Like I got clothes on the floor. I got receipts all over the car. Like that is something that she had to compromise on. He's not going to be clean.
I mean, let me just go on and admit it. I'm the exact same. Like I will think I have done a good job of cleaning up, and my husband will be like, "You didn't want to pull the covers over the chairs on the back patio," and I'm like, well, really? I did everything else. So yes, he did have to compromise on that.
Have you ever had to tell a friend to lower their standards?
No.
You would you ever?
No.
You would never say that. Do that?
No. Well, you know how I am about unsolicited advice. If you ask me about, you want to ask me about your standards, I will opine on your standards. But if they are too much and you are good with them, I'm happy for you.
But I had some friends who they would make, so like right around when we turned 40, they would make comparisons to women that we knew to women that they were seeing on social media. And I had to be like,
come on now.
Wait a minute. That like,
right. You know, that's not real.
that can't be your standard. I mean, that was a way of me telling them to lower your standard because your standard is based on something that isn't real. So in that case, I did. I was like, you can't compare them to social media posts. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Right. You're like, she looks like that on her social media post too.
Right. But
yes.
But I think both genders have this, like they always talk about women watch the fairy tales and they want the Prince Charming. Mm-hmm. And it's like, that doesn't exist. Like a friend of mine used to say she wanted a corporate Christian thug.
Oh, Lord.
Which was like they can navigate the boardroom, but they can also navigate the streets, but they're also a good Christian. And she recognized these three things you can't really find.
That's a very rare combination.
It's a super rare combination, but she wanted it. And I was like, good luck with that.
Good luck with that.
Okay, last person. Was this woman of Indian or was it? I don't want to.
Yes. So she talks a lot about growing up in an Indian family.
Okay.
And very like strict rules, values around purity, like not allowed to date, all of that, which gave her, I think, a complete negative connotation around anything sexual. Like she just, it's not only that she's avoiding it. Like I feel like on some level she's repulsed by it. Like she finds it to be a bit gross. Yeah.
Which when we force people, I was going to say women, but we force a lot of people to do this. When we force people to repress their sexual desires for so long, this is the pendulum can swing too far.
This is the result. Yeah.
This is the result.
Yeah.
And on a lesser level, a lot of I've read some things in the last few years about women who embraced purity culture, but then when they get married, they can't just flip a switch to embrace sexuality and pleasure.
Clearly our phones listen to us because when we were watching Virgins and talking about it, I saw this post of this like super conservative Christian couple that was bragging about the fact that they had maintained their celibacy in their marriage. So they were saying, we kind of already had it going.
What?
And so we're continuing to resist desire. And they were married for like a year and a half. And they're like, we don't know when we're going to let it go. But for now, we
Jobina,
still
this
feel
is not
really
real.
I was like, so you all, like, they were just so practiced in resisting that they were, and obviously this could be completely made up, but I could not believe that this could possibly be real. These two were like, we are so practiced in resisting, we continue to resist.
I'm literally speechless right now.
They were like, they do some things that because they were like the side huggers, right? They were side huggers. They were likely on like supervised dates, etc. So they're like, now we kiss, but when like the feelings get too strong, we separate.
Jobina, I'm speechless because I believe it, right? Like even if these two people, are contrived and social media, whatever. I know it exists. I know for a fact.
Somebody is out there doing that.
I never thought about that, but I know this exists.
Blown away.
Wow. I had a cousin of mine. He didn't kiss his wife until they got married, and I was like, that is an interesting decision.
The first kiss was at the wedding. Right? You're like, what if it was bad?
Decision.
What are you gonna do?
I think they sensed a level of what do you call it? When you're together, like a sense connection. They sensed a level of connection, and they decided we're not going to kiss, and they did. They certainly did. Well, at least they told everyone they didn't kiss.
Yeah, and I think that there's something in purity culture that says like, look, if you do that, you don't kiss until your wedding day.
Right.
You're not with this person until your wedding night. you have no point of comparison. So, because I just thought to myself, well, what if she's a bad kisser? But the whole point of purity culture is like, you're not going to know because this is going to be the only person you kiss. And so the way the two of you kiss each other is going to be perfect.
Now, I'm pretty sure they had kissed others in their past. Not to put their business in the street, but I think they had kissed other people.
They had a point of comparison.
They have a point of comparison on the kissing. But like, what were there any, what would you call it? Like religious or cultural mores that made dating difficult for you?
I mean, I don't know that it made dating difficult, but like it was very clear to me, but based on the fact that my parents did not say to me anything about sex other than don't do it, that, you know, my dating life should not include, like it should include getting to know people and being friends, etc. But it should not include really any form of physical contact. Like that was made very clear to me by my parents. And I think for many kids who grow up in conservative environments, whether they're Christian or not, it can lead them down a path of, so when you cross over and it's sort of a stated expectation, then you're telling yourself that, no, I'm not really doing it. So therefore you're not protecting yourself. You're not caring for yourself. You know, people are, I think, winding up pregnant, et cetera, because they're just not admitting to themselves that they're doing this thing that has been made up to be so bad in their minds because of conservative culture.
Yeah, and I would say the lack of competent sexual education made my dating life more difficult because I didn't know anything.
You don't know anything, yeah.
I didn't know anything about, but my parents didn't teach me anything about protection, about abortion, like any of the things, oral sex, like can you get diseases from oral sex, like and we were in high school kind of pre-internet, right? So you couldn't just
it's not like you can
do
go
a
find
Google
it out
search
yourself.
and go find it. So if we didn't get it from our parents, where did they think we were getting it from? Like,
but here's the thing, they didn't think you needed it because if you didn't do it, you don't need the information.
But they were teenagers once. Like that's what is lost on me is y'all were teenagers.
Yes.
And even if you made, quote unquote, made it to marriage without having sex, you still knew the urges were there. You still knew there was misinformation out there.
You had to have struggled
You still
with it
had
at some point.
friends who were doing things. Like you just thought we weren't human. Like what was the plan?
I think that our parents thought, like, we have instilled the right values in these young men and women, and they are going to stand for the right, though the heavens fall.
I mean, I just
You're not going to comment on that?
Again, I'm speechless at that level of decision making. You know, what's interesting, Jobina, is that actually the rates of virginity are rising now.
They're on the rise. Huh.
I think from like men and women aged 22 to 34, it used to be that 4% of men were virgins, and now it's 10% from 10 years ago. And in women, what is the number for women? 5 to 7%. So virginity's on the rise. I think it has to do with the lack of interpersonal time spent, right? Like, I'm not going to say they don't have skills, but like lack of time spent in each other's
face
presence.
to face with people. Yeah.
Right. And I don't know. So one of the issues that going back to the guy, he had a difficult time like approaching women, talking to women. That's a really difficult thing to do. And I did it in high school out of necessity. Like, I was going to be by myself if I did not force myself to engage with women. And I'm not sure these young people have to do that today.
Yeah, you got to ask somebody to the 8th grade dance. You got to.
Right.
You have to do it.
Now it's just
Not
I'm in the
anymore.
DMs, and you could kind of be bold in the DMs, but when you're face to face, it requires a skill set of, you know, guys have to do this thing where you push a little bit, you see where she's at, you push a little more. She's not interested. You pull back. Like
pull
all
back,
of that is a learned skill with when the stakes are small, so that when you're 35 and you're single and the stakes are larger, you have some skills. And I think the guy said he hadn't been on a date in 10 years.
Yeah, he had none. He didn't know what to say when he approached. He was saying he worried about running out of things to say, and when he did, he would just sit there.
Right.
Like he really didn't have the skills.
This might be controversial, but at least in his case, I'm going to say hire a sex worker. Like I just
okay.
Just because I think it's also so
you're
built
like
up
thinking rip
in
the
his
Band-Aid.
mind. Just rip the. I don't know if I've ever described sex as ripping the Band-Aid, but sure. Sure.
It's not a get it over with.
But I think that would take a lot of the edge off for him, because it's anxiety producing when you and especially when you don't have any experience. Like, hire a sex worker, get a 5-session plan so that you can get on a monthly plan so that you can learn. And that would give you some confidence to say, at the minimum, I know what to do when I get there.
Yeah.
But I would consider myself to be late having sex. I was 20. Mm-hmm. And it did start to creep up in my mind that I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
And I might get involved with someone who does know what she's doing.
Does.
And then I look like a fool. Imagine being 40.
Oh, God. This poor guy.
Speaking of 40, one of my favorite movies of all time, 40-Year-Old Virgin, with Steve Carell.
So good.
So many good scenes. But as funny as that was, a lot of this show, did you find it funny? Like, was it comical to you?
Yeah, in sort of like a painful way. It's like when like it's funny, but it's like, this is a real person. This is their real life, and this is kind of painful.
Right. Yeah, I think initially I started out laughing, and then very quickly I was like, oh, no, this is not.
No, yeah.
Yeah, this is sad. It was almost the way that I watch Hoarders, where at first you're like, oh my God, look at these people.
Do you see this mess?
And then by the end you're like, oh, this is awful.
Yeah.
So speaking of Hoarders, we'll jump to more or less. I think some of these people need therapy. And I don't know that TLC, they're the ones who do Hoarders, right? Do they do all?
I think they do Hoarders.
Like, whoever produces Hoarders needs to produce this, because these people
needs to advise on this. Yeah.
They need, I would say at least 3 of them need some significant therapy to be, and maybe they are going to therapy. I think one of them did mention that she is going to therapy.
Well, yeah. And I was going to say, having, I've already confessed that I've watched several episodes of the show. Like, they do spend some time with the lady who is of Indian descent, who has like so many issues and blockages. Like, they send her to therapy. They send her actually to someone who helps her with her pelvic floor. They send her to a therapist to talk about her mindset. Like, I think where they saw someone needing deep work, they gave that person support.
Okay. Anything more or less for you? You watched the whole thing, so.
I mean, I like these people. I think that is like the trick of a good reality TV show. When you have me rooting for the people, then you have me. I'm going to keep watching it. And I think they built out who these people were in not a kind of one-dimensional way. I mean, the fact that we're able to talk about all 4 of these people as they're all in the same circumstance, but in lots of different ways. Like, I thought they did a good job of making them multidimensional and interesting, and like putting me in a position to root for them. So I think they hit the right note.
Okay, we don't do Marry, Kill, One Night Stand about real people, but I will say I will volunteer my services to help. To help wherever I'm needed. However I can be of use. I am willing to help people solve this issue. So you have already said you have, based on the first episode, you were in for the rest of the series. Did you enjoy the whole series? No regrets?
Yeah. Yes. No regrets. Like, I think they did a really good job with it.
I don't know. This was kind of a 1-episode stand for me.
Really?
just because it wasn't funny and it was sad. And I don't really, I wasn't really in the mood to watch sad.
You weren't ready for that. Yeah.
Right? And then, I don't know. So, my problem with TLC's reality shows is I have heard that a lot of what they do is not real. It's
contrived.
It's contrived. So, I don't want to be sad about a story that I think is real. That's not real. So I just, and none of the people really drew me in to really, really root for them. If anything, I'm rooting for the minivan guy, but not enough to watch, 4 more hours of his story.
Well, maybe this was an imbalance with too many women's stories because you're rooting for the guy. Well, I wonder if there was another guy who would change your tune.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe it should have been more balanced to get female and male viewers.
Right. Okay, anything else? Did we touch on all the things? Anything else you want to say about your own virginity? Anything you want to share?
That it has been lost.
Even the notion of it being lost, right? There's this negative connotation to losing your virginity, as if it's something that is prized and should be kept and held on to.
Hold on to.
What's a better word? Your virginity has been.
Maybe some people would say you've been relieved of it. These people would say, I have been relieved. For these 4,
right?
We are wishing you having been relieved of your virginity.
All right. Thank you all for listening to One Episode Stand. If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe to the podcast to be alerted when new episodes drop. If you're listening on iTunes, please give us a rating. The theme music that you're listening to right now is Freedom by Paradox Hip Hop. And we'll be back next time with another series or season premiere. Jobina, let's end on this. Every story has a moral. What was the moral of this episode?
Now, the moral of this episode is if you want to write a show for which Luther Palmer will root for the characters, most of them have to be men. Sorry.
Come on. I mean, sure. I mean, yeah. I can't even say anything.
Right. I'm right.
I was rooting for the man in this case.
You were.
All right. See y'all next time.
Bye, everybody.